Good evening. Welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the Think Show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so called African American didn't find their way to America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the Indigenous One. What is an African American? What is it? Tonight, you're going to learn it because I've learned some things over the past few days that a lot of people are trying to find out, but they're being lied to by the so-called Africans and their children, the African American. So we're going to explain it to you simply tonight, and you ought to get this. And if you don't get it, you have a mother or father, grandmother, grandfather, ask them $20. They're going to back up everything I say. The reason this seed is being planted tonight is because we're about to start the new year. Now, I realize that the majority of people bring in the new year in the dead of winter. This is meant for those who have escaped that trap. We won't be long tonight. We won't be long at all. There's a lot of confusion going around, mainly being pushed by the Africans. Oh, come on. How you doing, brother? How you doing tonight? Africans, Africlans, like Ku Klux Klan, Africans, same people. Because you have to remember that Africa, Asia, Europe, they all share the same landmass. Don't get confused by these borders. They're the same landmass. They're the same people. Unfortunately, the African American joined them like they always do. But we're going to show you what the Africans are doing, how they're bringing down the African Americans with them. The Africans are those that are fleeing their homes, come here and spew all that nonsense that they learned from their colonizers. They learned it from their colonizers and their children, the African American. Tonight, you're going to learn what an African American is and what it's not. So I want to start here, and I'm going to make this simple. You cannot miss this. It's right in your face, guys. Check this out. So what you see on the screen right now, and when you're doing and when you're going back and you're doing genealogy and you're trying to find some information on your folks, try to go back as far as you can. Now, from what I'm finding out, many people, they can only get back to the like early 1800s. Just keep digging, it'll pop up. You have to remember that you are like a seed that your mother produced, watered by your father. See, if you learn what the indigenous people were teaching, the ideology, their spiritual practice, this will be easy for you. But you got to pick this up. When you go back and you start looking up the history of the indigenous people here in America, so this is just an example. I just want to give you an example of what you do. I don't want to tell you what to do, because if I tell you that, you'll take it and fuck it up. You're going to have to do the research. You're going to have to do the thinking. You're going to have to do that. Nobody else. So I just want to just point you in a quick direction so you'll get this. So this is a book called Living in the Land of Death, 1830 to 1860. And you can see where you can get the book from. Because people, we still want the documentation. Oh, we show you the documentation, but since you don't read, And of course, I'm not talking to the people that are with us tonight. I'm talking about these are the Africans, the people that call you pretendians and stuff. Remember, pretendian is not the name that your people call themselves. That's the name that other people coming from other places gave them. It's not you. So when you go back to these so-called books or whatever to look up stuff about your folks, 1830 to 1860s, we can agree that the term African American wasn't used. African American is a new term. And if you have parents or grandparents that graduated from high school in the 1980s, they'll tell you this. There were no African Americans before 1980. You were black then. Before you were black, you were colored. Before colored, the term was Negro. They're always changing your identity to keep you confused, which is where we are now. Confused as hell. You getting it? So I don't want to go through all of this. I just want to show you what an African American is. An African American doesn't know anything about himself. Nothing. But is very arrogant on what he doesn't know. And what he doesn't know confuses everybody around him. So when you're looking up the lineage of your people, you're doing genealogy, go back to, matter of fact, you want to go back to books that are earlier than 1830. They're out there. You have to look them up. This information is right in your face. Share this with your children because your children are going to have problems in the future because they're being overran by immigrants. And what you call the African American person, the black African American, you can see where they are. They know nothing and arrogant about it. So if you can, get information, resources that predate 1830s. This is just a little example. And if you just do it, you don't have to do what I say. I'm just giving some examples. By no means do you have to follow it in no way, but just pay attention to it. So, living in the land of death, the Choctaw Nation, 1830 to 1860, let you know who those people were. When you read this story or when you read about who those people were, right off the rip, you're going to recognize that it's you that's being spoken about. It's going to be you. It's going to be your 1860. So many of you, that's your great, great, great grandmother. This is how you're connected to the land. Those people didn't call themselves black. Those people didn't call themselves Indians. Those people called themselves that the names they came up for themselves. What you will notice about the African American, they always call themselves when somebody tells them to call themselves. All the time. They do it all the time. These people came up like the Greeks. They came up with the name the Greeks. The British, they came up with that about themselves. All these people, they identified themselves. What you call the African American, they don't identify themselves. They call themselves what other people call them. Make sense? So, this is what an African American is. The people who call themselves African Americans, they didn't they didn't name themselves that. That's why we look so stupid when we're up here trying to run our yap. People didn't name themselves African American. That's what they were told to call themselves. And they do a very good job now. So when you're going back Looking for your folks. You can go back, look at the money that was created back then. Look at the universities that was created back then. Look at the buildings that were done back then. That's why when you move to Chicago, LA, New York, and then you just turn your back on the places where your ancestors are from, remember, you're a seed. That's all. There's no death. You're a seed that came forth through your mother. Your mother's the tree. You're the seed from the tree, and you produce other seed. I mean, this is simple stuff. All you got to do is watch nature. The African American doesn't do that, and very arrogant about it. So pay attention to what your people are telling you, what's being said, 'cause they're telling you. You have to call their names. I mean, it's simple, guys. Your folks, they're talking. I mean, I know you hear them calling. I know you hear them calling. There's no way you can't. There's no way you can't, especially now. So these are your folks. So something else I want to share with you, and then we're going to get out of here. These are just examples, guys. You follow these examples, it's going to blow your mind. So something else I want to share with you, and listen to what this sister is saying. She's giving it to you. I mean, this sister's on with it, and check out her age. She's only 37 years old. So this is what I'm saying. If you're 40 years old and you don't get it, you'll never get it. If you're 40 years old and you don't know nothing, just stay there. You're not going to get it. This information is for you. You're a seed. You're a fruit from a tree, your mother's tree, which your father fertilizes. You're one of those seeds to give information to the other seeds that follow you. This is simple stuff. Simple. The African American doesn't do that. The African American doesn't do that. But I want you to check out this sister right here and check out what she says. Check out what this sister right here says. Peep.
Those black people who like to shame spiritual people for honoring our ancestors, I want you to remember this. What is your age? Mine is 37. So to think that to know that my ancestors were enslaved for 400 years, and that religion that those white people gave you did not take them out of it. It kept them in it for 400 years. So I'm going to honor my ancestors. I'm going to do whatever it is I got to do to make sure that they know that I know the sacrifice that they made unwillingly for 400 years. That religion did not save y'all, bro. Like, what? I don't understand why y'all can't see that. Do y'all not know what the fuck 400 years is? That's a long time. Why would people who want to keep you slaves for 400 years give you the source? Why would they give you the source, man? Oh my God, I don't think I understand. This message been on me for days and been heavy, bro. Don't fucking ever forget. 400 years, bro. Look at us, man. Look at us. Damn.
Yes, right. So you heard the sister speak. So you will understand when I hear these shines talk and they're not talking about nothing else. See, those are the women you call bitches and hoes. And those are the women that bounce their head and laugh and try to get BBLs. This is what you're passing down to your children. Now, I know many of you, I can do what I want to do. You don't tell me what to do. This is what you're passing down to your children, isn't it? This is your children out there in the world, y'all. You better listen to them. You better listen to your children speak. You better give them the information that they need to continue to grow and prosper. You giving all that dumb shit that y'all been putting out lately? Ugh. Do you think that those Choctaw, those Chittimacha, those Accomax, those Lettahatchee, do you think they would recognize their children today? Think about it. Do you think they'd recognize you? The arrogance, the ignorance that's going on? Do you think that your children would recognize you? Stop playing, y'all. Time is now. Peace out. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.